All right. Now, this is another a terrible story, another tragic story, and I hadn't covered on this channel because I know I will veer here and there away from stories that are directly music related, directly hip hop related, and this one I veered away from. But it took place in Charlotte, North Carolina, over the past a month ago. August 22nd is when this took place. And you guys know me, I grew up in the Carolinas. I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina. I lived in Greenville, South Carolina. And so this is in my old backyard. Big shout out to Charlotte. QC, represent, 1 second applause. Big shout out to Greenville, 1 second applause. Carolina, represent. And so what happened in Charlotte was a real tragedy. And there was a woman, her name was Irina Zarutska, and she was a Ukrainian immigrant. She lived in Charlotte, and she got onto the train, I think they called the train the light rail in Charlotte. And she sat down, and she was stabbed 3 times in the neck, unprompted. Terrible tragedy. It was one of the most horrific things that I've seen. And the person who did it apparently has a long history of mental health challenges. His mom reportedly wanted him to be incarcerated. She felt like he should be committed somewhere, but he was out in the streets. And so this story became a very big story, and it has been weaponized as an example of violent crime that's taking place in blue cities. All right, and so, but it was a really tragic story. I'll read some of the details to you so you can get an idea of what happened. Here's CNN. Suspect in Charlotte train stabbing that killed a Ukrainian refugee is charged with a federal crime. Here's what we know. The suspect in the grisly slaying of a young woman on a Charlotte, North Carolina light rail train now faces federal charges in a case that has turned into a political lightning rod in the country where she had come to seek safety. Irina Zarutska fled Ukraine in 2022 with her mother, sister, and brother to escape the war with Russia, and she quickly embraced her new life in the United States. But on the night of August 22nd, moments after she texted her boyfriend to say she would be home soon, a man sitting behind her on the train stabbed her 3 times in the throat in an unprovoked attack. Here's Irina. The suspect, 34-year-old DeCarlos Brown, had a long rap sheet and now faces a state charge of first-degree murder and federal charge of committing an act causing death on a mass transportation system. The federal charge comes with the possibility of the death penalty, a punishment President Donald Trump said he supports. In this case, prosecutors were still investigating. The U.S. Attorney for Western District of North Carolina, Russ Ferguson, said Thursday. Democratic and Republican leaders have traded barbs over whom or what is to blame in this case, and for violence nationwide. The debate simmers against the backdrop of the Trump administration vowing to fight crime by deploying federal troops in predominantly Democratic cities. Here's what we know about the case polarizing opinion across the country, right? So that's the details of what happened and where this stood, right? And again, this is a real tragedy. I wouldn't wish this on anyone else. This young woman didn't deserve that. And I honestly think that the person who committed the crime should have been incarcerated or committed long before this. His mom says so, and I tend to, I think that she probably knows him better than anyone else. This is someone who had very clear and documented mental health challenges, right? This is a catastrophe, tragedy all the way around. And so this happened within the past month. Now, why are we talking about it today? Well, because yesterday, DaBaby decided to release a music video that reenacts this moment, okay? And he's getting all the backlash in the world. All the backlash is just raining down on DaBaby. DaBaby's from Charlotte, so this is in his backyard. Let's take a look at the video, then we'll talk about it.
This is video surveillance of the night. Irina Zarutska enters the blue line at the East-West Boulevard station stop.
If I'm not mistaken, this is he used the actual surveillance footage, right? This part isn't a reenactment. I believe this is the case. Maybe I'm incorrect here, but this looks exactly like the footage that came out when this story broke.
This is video surveillance of the night. Irina Zarutska enters the blue line at the East-West Boulevard station stop. You can see she takes a seat directly in front of DeCarlos Brown, the suspect. At first, nothing seems unusual, but 4 minutes later, he pulls out what appears to be a pocket knife and suddenly stabs Zarutska multiple times. Zarutska then collapses as Brown walks to the front car, takes off his sweater, and wraps his hand before exiting the train. Police arrested him on the platform shortly after.
You think you can save me? Oh, you think you can save
what?
me?
Think you could save me like you got or something? I've been put about the way, I ain't been starting nothing. I done spent a couple million on them lawyer fees. Cause when you really stand on business, it's gonna cost some money.
Now, already, he starts off with, you think you can save me? I've been spending all this money on this lawyer fees. Right. Listen, we'll run it back, we'll listen again, we'll listen to the song, we'll come back and talk about it, but pay attention to the tense.
Think you can save me? Oh, you think you can save
what?
me?
Think you could save me like you got or something? I've been put about the way, I ain't been starting nothing. I done spent a couple million on them lawyer fees. Cause when you really stand on business, it's gonna cost some money. And I looked at shit like it was normal, it was off the muscle. When I get back and start performing, it's gonna cost you double. When I stay silent in my morals, yeah, it cost me plenty. When I'm inside her, it's like water, she gon' toss me under. So where the lifeguard at? Cause I'm not trying to float away, I'm just trying to know your name. Every time you see him out, act like you don't know them lames. Every time I'm leaving out, I watch out 3 of my mirrors and check the cameras before I leave the house. Make sure ain't no snakes around my land, I gotta weed them out. Better stay out my face, cause I'm a man and I'll bleed you down. A man, I wanna see you smile. A man, I wanna see you strong. A man, I wanna see you down. A man to tell you come outside. A man that wanna see you now.
You think you can
Right now.
Now, when I hear that verse, I hear DaBaby's life. I hear DaBaby talking about the lawyer fees, presumably from different cases he's had before. I hear DaBaby talk about being on stage. I hear DaBaby talk about the effect he's having on whatever woman he's talking about. I hear DaBaby talking about the snakes he's watching out for. That's what I hear. Okay, I'm watching a incredibly tragic situation take place on a train that is a national story, if not international story. And I'm listening to DaBaby rap about himself while reenacting that. Let's hear a second verse.
Yeah, like I wanna see you right now, fucking now. Like, get here.
can save me?
Think you can save me like you got or something? I've been ducked off out the way, I ain't been starting nothing. Cause I done spent a couple million on them lawyer fees. And spent some more on people say I never bought them nothing. They say they love you, then they act like they ain't never love you. You go through shit and yeah, you act like it ain't never nothing. That young and hurting, he need love, so you can't tell him nothing. He got that 40 in his backpack, he ain't scared of nothing. They think they know you, niggas act like you a hoe or something. Them niggas playing, you gon' blow it, you gon' show them something. Them niggas acting like you owe them, you don't owe them nothing. No 9 to 5, you rather post up at the store or something. And we can't save you.
You think you can save me?
You know, and it's just some people, man, unfortunately, you know, man, we can't save them, you know what I'm saying? I might be one of them. I might be one of them niggas, you know, baby, you can't save, nigga. And I ain't looking for you to save, man, and be more grateful. I'm gonna put my faith in God.
So that's the video. And DaBaby is getting destroyed. Now, here's my problem with it before we take a look at the reactions here. I don't think it's uncommon for people to take tragic events and try to, make an artistic expression around them. make an artistic expression around it. I don't that's not uncommon at all. I think DaBaby ran into a few things that made this backlash, I think, inevitable. One, timing. I mean, this is less than a month since this happened. Since this happened, DaBaby ran outside and says, oh, I could use this for a video. It happened in my hometown.
Tomato.
Execution. This song isn't about this situation. This song's not about this situation at all. The first verse sounds like it's about DaBaby. Second verse sounds like people in DaBaby's community or communities around the nation. And then his outro is about, hey, I'm probably one of those people you can't save either. And then DaBaby saves the day. So the music itself isn't even inspired by, doesn't come across as inspired by this tragic situation.
Tomato.
So now you have timing and execution, less than a month. And the execution, this song could have been, he could have had this song already. So now he framed it within a extremely controversial and multinational tragedy that has real ramifications on what might happen from an administrative level when it comes to the city of Charlotte, with an administration that's been putting National Guard and ICE agents and sending military into cities. And it comes across as if he's exploiting that for virality, for shock value. I mean, the irony of DaBaby doing this, right? The last time I did a video on this channel called DaBaby Going Outside, because I'm a DaBaby fan. I'm a DaBaby fan for a long time, since blank blank, at least. DaBaby to me, he's representing Charlotte in a crazy way. Second most successful artist ever to come out of North Carolina. I rock with DaBaby musically for a long time. And I made a video called DaBaby Going Outside because he had a song where he was trying to recover from his self-sabotage when he said what he said at Rolling Loud about the LGBTQ community, and then spent months doubling down on it and basically lost his entire career. I mean, I don't want to say he lost his career, but he lost all momentum. He lost all support. He had a #1 song with Dua Lipa at that point in time. She distanced himself from him. He got taken off that song on radio. His career has not been the same since then. It's not been the same. And so he made a video, and at the end, it was supposed to be him trying to make amends with that community. And he starts off the video by disrespected Meg Thee Stallion, talking junk about Meg Thee Stallion, who was just shot by Tory Lanez.
Tomato.
Like that's how he put those two things together for whatever reason. Whatever reason, right? So this is DaBaby's backstory. This is the backstory DaBaby got. And here he is now putting himself at the center of a multinational tragedy, a real tragedy. A tragedy of an American tragedy in a number of ways. American tragedy in a number of ways, to be honest. Put himself in the middle of it, half-heartedly and not even committed. The song don't sound like it has anything to do with it. He's not rapping about it. The timing is terrible. And he's like, yo, let me clout chase off of this. That's what it feels like.
Tomato.
It's one. I'm flabbergasted, dumbstruck. But I don't know if I should have, expected anything more, because DaBaby, as he said, I guess maybe you can't save him. He's going to do what he wants to do. DaBaby has been working for years at this point, pushing forward, pushing his music forward, pushing his raps forward. And then things like this just happen. This is one of the most insensitive things I've seen from a rapper in a very long time. And that's a crazy sentence to say, because people out here clout chasing every day. I don't see anything dope, fly, thoughtful around this. And it's really sad that DaBaby's going to exploit his own community for something like this.
Tomato.
Now here's the reactions. Here's what people say. That's what I think. Let's see. Maybe I'm wrong. What do people say? Maybe I'm wrong. Here's the first one. DaBaby do not have the relevance to bounce back from something like this. Yeah, sadly, I agree. Autumn Like the Season says, where is that person on that team that says don't do this? Where is that person? Great question. 1 second applause. Here's the next one. It says, he's so effing stupid, OMG. Yeah, that's a pretty dumb move. I agree with that. Here's the next one from Arbidology. Good grief, anyone should be arrested. Good grief, everyone should be arrested. The actors, the musicians, the art director, the cameraman, the sound man, the post-production guys, and the arresting officers. I don't agree, but I see where you're coming from. 1 second applause. AJ the Virgo says, something is genuinely wrong with that man. That's what it looks like to me. 1 second applause. Simone, I can see what he meant by it, but literally just happened. Timing means everything. Exactly. Timing means everything. You can't exploit something that's not even done. I mean, homie hasn't even had a trial yet. You know, her family is still in the middle of grieving. And you're taking actual scenes from this, actual security camera footage, and you're exploiting it for a song that you wrote about something else. It's not even about this. Lilith said, he's extremely stupid and disgusting. I don't care what he thought he was doing. I don't know what he thought he was doing. WTF. Jew, I have no issue with this because Joyner Lucas would do the same thing. And that's what's funny about this. That's what's funny about this. This broke in such a way because the same time this DaBaby video was trending, so was Joyner Lucas. The DaBaby video was so poorly done that it made people think about Joyner Lucas. And that's not a shade of Joyner Lucas. That's not a shade of Joyner Lucas. Joyner Lucas is an incredible artist with an incredible fan base. I have my opinions on Joyner Lucas, which you guys understand. But Joyner Lucas was catching strays. Here's what Full Metal says. Joyner Lucas needs to make a song from the perspective of himself stopping DaBaby making a music video dedicated to the refugee murdered in Charlotte. That's funny. 1 second applause. Kay says, watch to the point that you try to be Joyner Lucas might be the worst possible career path of anyone ever. 3,000 likes on that. 1 second applause. Shout out to Joey, my man Joey from Gotham Hip Hop. This Joyner Lucas ass concept. Like this is how bad DaBaby made. This is how bad this misstep is from DaBaby. It's so bad that people started sending strays at Joyner Lucas.
Tomato.
I'm not even going to rate this video. If I did, it would get all the tomatoes in the world. I'm just really disappointed in DaBaby. This is very difficult to be a DaBaby fan. I'm not sure I can say it anymore. I'm not sure where I live with it when it comes to new things that DaBaby's doing. You know, to me, this is a real tragedy of an extremely unique talent. It's someone who, in the past 10 years or so, was one of very few people to show up with new flows, a new sound, a new bounce, a new energy, who had the world at his palm, and continuously punches himself in the face by not showing respect for other people in other communities. It makes it really difficult to support someone like this. Let me know what you think about all of this. Let me know what you think about this video, this conversation. Let me know in the comment section. My name is Justin Hunt. Like and subscribe to the channel. Follow at The Company Man on everything, including The Company Man podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. It's all happening.
Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. The mathematical breakdown of this mighty game of rap we in. It's boom bapping. Systematical culture views, it's radical, it's all happening. Shaking hands and dapping them. Life through the lens of hip hop, from trip hop to yes, dog, you don't stop, you don't stop. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes,